What's up, everybody? IFBB Pro Seth Feroce here on another how-to video on traps. So with all the shoulder training that I do, again, everybody talks about how round my shoulders are, and they talk about, how big my traps are. And to be honest, if you look at some older pictures, I never really had like overwhelming traps, and it's something that I concentrated on this time around, and I believe it to be because I just kind of figured out on how to make them fire. So I watched a lot of videos of other people, and then I kind of analyzed their workouts as well, and then I kind of put my own spin on it. And again, if you watch the other shoulder training videos out there, I talk about hand placement and body placement and angles. And again, this goes right back into the same thing with traps. So my favorite exercise with traps is dumbbell shrugs. I found them to be, we got 150-pound dumbbells here at this facility, and they come in handy when we do whenever I do shrugs. So with this, the best way to do is just kind of watch how I do it, and then I'll explain it as I go. So here we go. So as I was doing them, you can see from the side, I had a pretty good base. My feet are planted into the floor. You don't want to be stiff-legged straight. You don't want to be straight-legged. You want to make sure that you got a little bounce, you got your knees bent, good base, feet planted into the ground, and hand placement. I grab the dumbbells directly in the dead center, pick them up, and whenever I go to do my shrugs, I slightly bend my elbows up. I've found that whenever I keep my arms straight and just try and jam them up into my shoulders, I don't get nearly the pump. And the pump is all the blood flowing to the muscle group, letting you know that blood is moving to that area. So if I'm not getting a pump, that's a pretty good indication that I'm not doing something I should be doing. So whenever I'm here, dead nuts centered on the hand placement, pick it up, feet in the ground. When I come up, slightly bend my elbows and jam my shoulders into my ears. And if you keep your arms straight, you're restricted. You can see my traps working, but I don't get nearly the blood flow I do that when my elbows slightly bend up and push into my ears. So again, now everything's going to come into play. Hand placement. If I arch my back a little bit more and stick my chest out, I'm going to hit him from a different angle than if I would if I was kind of more stiff-legged straight. Bending my elbows up and in. The less weight that you use, you'll see you'll end up, if I use the 30s instead of the 75s or whatever I just used there, now my hands, I'm capable of picking up the weight without even using my shoulders. I want to make sure that my arms hang. In the beginning of every set you see me do, you'll see me kind of stretch my head out and stretch my neck out, my traps, so I can feel that they're pulling. And then with the light weight, I want to keep my arms straight, get the bend. So using the correct weight is just as important. Move into the heavier dumbbells with a little bit lower rep range to make sure that you don't let other body parts take over the work that you want to do with the targeted muscle group. So I usually hang out, I'll do some warm-up sets with the 80s, work into the 100s, the 120s, the 140s, the 150s, and just keep hammering out. But again, hand placement, body placement, feet in the ground, and use your elbows. Bend your elbows in slightly and jam it up into your shoulders or into your ears. And as you can see, I straighten my arms out after every rep. Blood flow. Pay attention to it. If you're not getting a pump from the exercise that you're doing, it's not working the way it should be. Blood flow, nutrient flow, growth.